Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share our videos with a couple of friends who are trying to reach 500 subscriptions, and every subscription helps us out a lot. A couple days ago, we had some news on the Batman Part 2 getting delayed, and it looks like James Gunn made some statements regarding that as well. But let's read into it. This is from comicbook.com. James Gunn defends the Batman 2 delay. According to the co-CEO of DC Studios, it's no big deal when sequels take a long time. When it comes to DC Studios, expectations are sky high since 2025 marks the big reboot of the universe, but with James Gunn making changes to get the studio's productions back on track, not every decision has been a win for fans. This is the case with the Batman Part 2, which got pushed back for the second time late this year. Still, Gunn didn't seem to be bothered about this and decided to clear things up. Always active on Threads, the DC Studios co-CEO explained that the situation is pretty normal considering sequels usually have a long gap between movies. The Batman came out in 2022 and now its sequel is set for 2027. To be fair, a 5-year gap or more is fairly common in sequels, he wrote. 7 years between Alien and Aliens, 14 years between Incredibles, 7 years between the first 2 Terminators, 13 years between Avatars, 36 years between Top Guns, and of course, 6 years between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Volume 3. He said the reason the script with Gunn saying that Matt Reeves was working hard to make it perfect with the postponement announcement. He also took the chance to explain why the whole process takes so long. This is a quote: "The only reason for the delay is there isn't a full script." He continued, "Matt is committed to making the best film he possibly can, and no one can accurately guess exactly how long a script will take to write. Once there is a finished script, there is around 2 years for pre-production, shooting, and post-production on big films. It's worth mentioning that the first film was delayed. The issue seemed to be with the script as well." All of this isn't really surprising considering the studio's projects have been taking a while to get their scripts approved as well. The director, screenwriter still hasn't delivered a fully finished screenplay, instead sending it out piece by piece. And I referenced that in the first tidbit of news that we got regarding the Batman's pushback. That is what James Gunn had came out and said. Matt Reeves had stated that the script was basically finished, and James Gunn said that the script wasn't finished, at least the first draft was not complete to its entirety, and that he was receiving the script in pieces, so that's why there was the reason for the pushback initially. However, according to a Deadline report, the delay isn't just because of Reeves slowly writing the script, but also the 2023 screenwriter strike, which disrupted the process. On top of that, the schedule change was also reportedly tied to the director's personal issues. Batman is expected to become a trilogy, but the constant delays have left fans feeling frustrated and doubtful, which makes it seem like this might also be part of a strategy tied to next year's Superman release. And I do think it does have something to do with that. They do have a lot of their marbles involved with that film. A lot of, basically all their eggs in one basket, you could say, because this is James Gunn's DC. It's really his initiation into the DC universe, and obviously we know how big Superman is in that universe, so it's really his first shot at this. James Gunn had nothing to do with greenlighting the Batman project before he took over DC, so I can see why Superman is so important. Let's finish up. As everyone knows, no other DC Studios project is set to drop before Clark Kent's movie hits theaters, which is going to be hitting July 11th, 2025, suggesting that even Bruce Wayne had to step aside. It could be a way of waiting to see how things play out. Nothing's official, but it's something to think about. The Batman 2 will be hitting theaters on October 1st, 2027. As I speak on that topic now, we could get another pushback as well. Hopefully they do stick to 2027. I believe overall there has been 2 pushbacks for this film, so we would just have to wait and see what happens as far as the production of this film and the completion of the script, because that is most important at that point in time. Like I said, I've done multiple videos on the Batman Part 2, so I've talked about a lot of things and details regarding the film. I don't need to really go over those things and reiterate that. Also did another video on James Gunn talking about The Brave and the Bold. He came out and said that there is no delay for The Brave and the Bold. So you can look at that video as well. That is in the catalog. The last video I actually did, so check that out. It is tied in with this one. But overall, like I said, we will just have to see what happens with this project. It is, kind of a bummer to hear that Batman has been pushed back 5 years from when the Batman Part 1 came out. I do understand the gap in between sequels. And then it could be, sometimes the audience gets spoiled with getting sequels faster than within a 5-year gap. Now, does James Gunn have a point when he talks about the gaps in between sequels of classic movies and just movies in general? Yes, he does have a point, but also it is a different period of time of cinema where we get information a lot faster. Even if you look at Nolan's trilogy of Batman, you didn't have these 5 and 6 year gaps between Batman films. He knocked it out pretty quickly, and it could just be his style and what Warner Brothers was willing to spend. Also, now you do have to look at these studios are getting a lot tighter with their money, their budgets, and the films they are trying to greenlight, although you would think that greenlighting Batman is a no-brainer. But with all that being considered, I'm sure that those things do, there are topics of discussion within the studio. But with all that being said, like this video, please comment down below what you thought about the news. Share this video with a couple of friends and let them know to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications. If I get any more news regarding the Batman Part 2, I'll definitely be passing it on to you, ladies and gentlemen. With all that being said, be safe. It's Neff signing off.